we're going to jump right into the first episode of Mashle, Magic and Muscles. So, to get you guys into the show, basically, in a realm where magic is part of everyday life, a swole boy named Mash and his pops live in a secluded forest. And despite his pops telling Mash not to go into town without him, he does it anyway. You know, it's just what he does. He's a boy. But he's a man on a mission. He's going to town to buy the delicious dessert we all know and love called cream puffs.
Love a good cream puff, yeah.
Always the cream puffs, bro.
Let's get right into it, guys. So this is the first episode of a new show. Super excited for it. It's just a really fun concept. Essentially, it's Mash is a boy born without magic. And to cope with that, he just gets fucking ripped.
Yes. Yeah, so his dad like trains his body and doesn't really tell him why, because they like live in the woods, right? But he doesn't know the whole world is about magic. They live out of town.
Country bumpkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to ask you guys, the intro song. Did y'all like that? Was it gas or not? Because I thought it was kind of fire.
I think top intro of the spring season, one of them, for sure.
You think so?
Dude,
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I was really loving it. It's called Knockout by Taku Okazaki. Nice little piece of art right there. I really, really did enjoy that.
I thought it was okay. I guess I gotta go back and listen to it again.
Do it again.
I did. I went back and listened to it. I'm telling you, it's going to be top OP of the spring. One of the top, not the top, but one of the tops.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about the main character, Mash?
I thought he was hilarious with how oblivious he was. Right? So right off the bat, he just like is coming in the door of their like little cottage they have in the woods, him and his dad. And he can't even remember if he's supposed to push or pull the fucking door that he comes in every day, and he just breaks it off the fucking hinges.
And when he says breaks it off the hinges, he doesn't mean like rip it off. He means like the door breaks into like 50 pieces.
Yes, it was ridiculous. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fix it," and his dad's like, "Just put it down, bro, very slowly."
I'm just curious if does that happen every time he tries to open the door or what? Like, are we?
They did this episode.
I'm interested to see.
I hope they keep doing that little bit. I'm really enjoying it, actually.
So I don't think the door was duct taped together at the beginning of the episode, but it definitely was the second time he opened it and just blew through the door.
And when he ripped it off the hinges, I think he tried to put it back on like flipped
Sideways.
90 degrees. Yeah, so he's like pushing it in. So the dude's a dunce. The dude's an absolute dunce, and it's fucking hilarious. But I think we have a good MC on our hands. It seems like so far. Him like sticking up for his dad and whatnot throughout the first episode was really, really cool.
Definitely. And I think it's just going to be a really, really fun show. Like, we're watching some really serious, dark stuff. And I think this is going to be like the perfect amount of like shonen goofy humor that we need to like offset Hell's Paradise.
I think so. It was very comically driven, which I enjoyed it. Because we're ripping through all these shows. Mashle, My Home Hero, all this good stuff. And it was good to have something light mixed in, like you're saying. Because Hell's Paradise it's fucking hell. We'll get to that later, guys, but it's all the stuff that we've been watching is pretty intense. It's a good change of pace.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't like overuse the same jokes over and over again. Is what I'm worried about with this one. Like the cream puffs and
I was
stuff
going
like
to
that.
say, I think the cream puffs are going to be a reoccurring gag, but I hope they don't overdo it, you know?
Yeah. I
I
wouldn't
kind of
mind
got a feeling
seeing,
that they're going to, but yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing all the doors in this show just completely ripped apart, and we know why. It would just be something funny in the background.
It's just like Saitama living in another world. This is basically just Saitama's isekai, dude.
Yes, sir.
Oh. I didn't know we was watching Isekai this time. Okay.
He got you there, Dan.
In my mental head case, it's an isekai. It's just Saitama. They're very similar characters.
I'm down with it.
So just to talk a little bit more about the actual plot here. So like you said, Dan, at the beginning, he goes into town and immediately you notice that Mash is a little different than everybody else. Everybody else, one has magic. He's hasn't seen much magic in his life. He's like, oh, it's ridiculous. These guys could just be using their hands because he's super strong. But what we notice is everybody has some kind of face marking, some kind of black mark on their face, whether it's a line, a semicircles. Did you like it being that obvious that everybody else had magic? And do you think like there could be like a correlation between what kinds of markings and how powerful you are?
Yeah, I mean, we seen in one of them the when they were showing the students off, he actually they was talking about how I guess insinuating how powerful this guy was. One of the students that they was talking about, and he actually had two marks on him. He had like one on each side of his eye, I think, if y'all
Yep.
recall.
Mm-hmm.
So that would insinuate that that the more marks you have, the more powerful you may be. I
Right.
think. Y'all
Definitely
agree?
checks out. Definitely checks out there. Yeah, I can see that. I'm curious to see if the shape of it affects that because some of the guys just had simple lines. Some of them had like the main. I don't want to call him bad guy, but like the main antagonist for this episode had like a lightning bolt design, kind of like everybody's favorite wizard Harry Potter, on his cheek. So it's kind of I kind of got that vibe. So maybe it is related to it, but I guess we'll find out as the show continues.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if that plays into anything, but it was just really, really obvious immediately. It's like, oh, he is the only one. And then the townspeople noticed it as well. And apparently you don't get to live long if that's the case, if you have no magic. We had old Brad Coleman, he's like the former Bureau of Magic's security force. And he was saying, what was he saying, guys? I think kids are like killed at birth over that, right? Which is
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, big time.
Yeah.
If any of them escape or whatever, they are found and I guess killed. Apparently,
Well, that's the whole
right.
reason, that Mash is living in a little cabin out in the boonies because it got kind of into Pop's backstory. His father named Regro, and basically he was like a really weak magic user and was basically ridiculed for it for his entire life. And he was getting ready to pull the off himself.
Take the dive, yeah.
Yeah, take the dive, not pull the trigger, but metaphorically just
Woo.
go skydiving,
Off the
and
top, bro.
and he was about to jump, and I believe he heard Mash crying in the background, and he got off the ledge and found Mash and said, "Holy shit, you don't have magic," and basically decided that he was going to devote his life to raising Mash, which was fucking awesome. I already like Pops a lot, man. Regro is a cool character.
Yeah, he's A1 in my book. That it takes a big heart to do that, and to like live completely outside of the city, which he probably didn't want to be there anyway. Now that I'm thinking about it, but it just takes a big heart to do that. Finding little newborn baby Mash.
It's crazy that Mash doesn't listen to Pops as much as he should, though. He just ignores what he says and just does what he does.
I mean, dude, that's every like 14, 15-year-old boy out there, though. Let's be honest here. Like when you're that old, you weren't listening to your parents like that,
No.
So
no.
is that about how old Mash is, you think? About 14, 15?
He's going into high school, technically, right?
Oh.
That's what I was assuming.
I'm not sure.
Well, magic school, but like, I don't know. Based on his like height and character design and stuff, he didn't look like a little kid. I mean, he was the same height as all the adults. So I figured I'd put him somewhere in that 14 to 16 range.
25, bro. What do you mean?
Well, that's a grown-ass man.
Well, the man has been on the workout regimen from hell.
No, for real.
For like who knows how long. I mean, his entire life.
845s on his bar and was just pumping those out like it was nothing. And yeah, I just looked it up, guys. He is 15 years old.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Speaking of his age, maybe he needs to go into the city, but I really wasn't liking that man's drip. He had the gray button down with the slacks that were too big. He kind of cleaned it up at the end. Had a nice, freshly pressed shirt with the red tie.
He put on a school uniform at the end. Is what he did.
Oh shit! Mash the dripless. Here we go.
Hey man, he just focused on getting them gains, bro.
Yeah, that's
Ain't
fair.
got
That's
time
fair.
for the drip.
Speaking of Mash's drip, I know Tyler hasn't seen it yet, but it reminded me of Coronel from Fire Force, the super twisted dude at the.
Yeah, that is true.
He had like the same exact haircut, the same color eyes, the same drip. I was like,
No, you're right.
somebody might have got a little excited based on that design, you know?
Yeah,
Hey.
somebody got some inspiration somewhere. So it seems.
Speaking of other shows, did y'all see Kid in the intro over there from One Piece?
What?
Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't notice that.
Kid look alike? I'm pretty sure that yeah.
Oh no,
You talking about the red hair?
designs.
The red-haired kid in his friend group.
Yeah, in the intro.
Okay,
I was like,
I
bro,
think
that's Kid, bro.
we're gonna meet him soon. We haven't met him yet in the show, so we'll meet him
No.
next week, and we'll take a deeper look at that.
Yeah, I just seen him in the intro, and I was just like, bro, what are they? This is Kid from One Piece, but I'm surprised y'all didn't see that.
No, I was too busy banging my head to that fucking
Oh
banger.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
bro, that's my bad.
I was too
I'll try to
busy.
reel it in next time.
I was straight up too busy wanting to go to the gym and pump out like 1,000 reps with like 400 pounds on it in 5 minutes, you know, just because he got you fired up with the workout scene, dude.
Oh yeah.
Bro, when he was working out, it sounded like it scared me at first. I thought it was like hummingbirds or something.
The man pumps
Yeah.
iron, and you got to check it out. Like, you have to check it out. We can't explain it.
My sister heard him like grunting, lifting the weights, and she was like, she came out of her room. She's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" I think
Strong
she
boy.
thought I was. I think she thought I was watching something X-rated, but
Yeah.
Strong
besides the point.
boy.
My man's just working out. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out.
So I guess to dive back into the plot. So basically, Mash goes into town.
Yep.
He gets outed as being magicless, and he accidentally gets cream puff on a police officer's shirt. He's like, "Oh, I'll clean this for you," and just rips off half his uniform, which is hilarious.
Terry's titties was hanging out. It was miserable.
Terry's titties were hanging out, and not in a good way. Terry is a big, hefty man.
Yes.
Terry with a Y.
Fair enough.
But so basically, Brad Coleman, who's kind of like the police chief, ex-Magic Security Force guy, like, dude fought a dragon, allegedly, you know, like, he's pretty legit. And he confronts Mash and is like about to like take him into prison. And old Regro comes out of nowhere and just scoops him and says, "Sorry about my son, bye," and just runs away. And Brad basically uses a magic spell to have a bird follow them to find out where they live. And then him and a couple other cops, Terry included, you know, go right in there and go try and basically capture Mash and take him into prison. And Brad starts throwing spells at him. And Mash, I swear to God, just starts swiping this thing away. Like, these are like spells that have killed a dragon. He just starts swiping away like bugs. It was so funny.
Yeah, they were shook, bro. They didn't know what to do with that guy.
I wonder what makes them able to do that. Did y'all see anything that dug into that, or do we know yet?
My theory on that is that no one is used to using their bodies for anything, because they were using it for simple stuff like cutting fruit, picking up things off the ground. So I don't think anybody else works on their physique, or probably has even tried to swipe away magic, because everybody has magic. So I think he just like broke the rules.
Dude, his magic is muscles, baby.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was funny when he started like playing soccer with it.
Oh, I was crying, dude.
That was some good comedy.
Yeah, no, he's just so OP because he's so fucking swole. And I just get serious One Punch Man vibes from it. I'm really hyped because I love that show.
Yeah, One Punch Man. I liked the first season. The second season wasn't so great, but still a fun show.
Third season's gonna be really good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mappa.
Is it Mappa doing it?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
sure.
sweet.
Mappa's doing everything. That's why we can't get fucking AOT on time. But that's another day.
That's why it takes 47 years for a show to drop.
Yeah, they don't have a release date yet, boys. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure Mappa's doing it. That's what I've seen.
I think you're right. But basically, the end of the episode is Mash basically defeats, quote unquote, he doesn't kill him or anything, defeats Brad. And Brad says, "Hey, I'll cut you a deal here. If you go to school and become the Divine Visionary, which is like the #1 prodigy of young wizards, I'll let you off the hook." So they draw this corny ass little fake line on Mash's face and send him off to wizard school. And that's the end of the episode right there. So like I'm really excited to see where it goes. I think it's gonna have some awesome plot to it. The comedy was great, so I really hope they continue with that and mix in a little more serious in there when they get to some like serious parts. But I think it'll be a really good balance.
I'm sure they will. But to go a little bit more into like the divine visionary thing. So the up and coming kids, like around the age of 15, how old Mash is, they all go to this school, they compete, and it's annual. And whoever becomes the divine visionary is that guy. So he's gonna be fighting some really powerful kids. So it should be really, really fun. Hopefully we get to see some more of his dribbling skills in the next episode.
Hell yeah, dude.